Hello, everybody. So I just got done re-listening to Marilyn Manson's 2020 album, which is his latest. We Are Chaos, and I think I mentioned in the last video maybe that I've heard this before, but I was I think distracted at the time, and as a result, unfortunately, a lot of the music was kind of lost on me. It didn't really get absorbed, and I wasn't again, I wasn't paying close attention, so honestly, I had like zero impression of what the songs even sounded like beyond the single "We Are Chaos," which I had heard before the album released. Um, so I was excited to get to this point because I wanted to re-listen to it where I was fully attentive, and I am glad that I have done so because majority of the music made it onto my Spotify liked list, which does frustrate me a little bit because it's like I could have had all that figured out much sooner than this when the album was released. But of course, like I said, I kind of screwed up by not paying attention, and as a result, it just kind of left an impression of like, oh, I didn't really like that one. But it's like that's not really even truly what the situation was. I wasn't paying attention. It's like my fault that I didn't like enjoy the album, you know. So anyway, yeah. Now that I've listened to it for real, this happened with the Rammstein album, by the way, the 2019 one with the matchstick on the cover. Um, Same thing where like I didn't really pay attention to it the first time, and then like there was a part of me that was just like, I didn't like that one, and then that's not even really what happened. You know, it's just that I didn't really pay attention to it and give it a fair shake. So same thing here, where I finally have given it the full attention that I should have, and it turns out that I liked it, and my dumbass has just been ignoring music that I would have enjoyed for years. Um, so anyway, yeah, I really like this one. My number one pick is in this doesn't usually happen, but it is the obvious pick this time. So spoilers. But yeah, let's talk about my top three real quick. Um, which there was a little bit of competition for the top three because some of these songs I do really like, and I'm gonna listen to them again when I'm done making this video to kind of further solidify them into my brain. But my number three pick is going to be Halfway and One Step Forward. Really enjoyed it. My number two is going to be Don't Chase the Dead, which it's funny because when I started playing it while listening to it before recording this video, I like vaguely recognized it, but it wasn't like like most of these songs I honestly didn't recognize. That's how little I had been paying attention the first time I listened to this. Like I said, I clearly had been distracted at the time, and then just never gave it like a real listen, to my own detriment, apparently. But yeah, like I vaguely recognized this one, and then I was like, I like what I'm hearing. Why didn't I like it? Like I don't understand. And then I listened to the whole song, and I was like, yeah, why didn't I like this? Like, it just occurs to me, like this is why it's kind of important to revisit things. And also to definitely try and give something your attention when you're going to engage with it. Like if you're not in the mood to listen to a new album, maybe don't. Just put it off. Listen to it when you want to, or when you're ready to, really get into it. So, yeah. Anyway, my number one pick is "We Are Chaos." It's the most played song off the album, and it is my favorite from the album, and it's a really good song. Now, is it the type of song that I normally think of when I think of Marilyn Manson? Not really, but that doesn't mean it's not a good song, and it doesn't mean he can't do it, He's proven that he's good at varying his style up over the years, and I respect that because, to harp on Kiss's 80s era, the unmasked era once again, when they tried to do like glam rock and glam metal and stuff, like God, it just didn't work. It was so boring and like soulless feeling. It just lost the things that I liked about Kiss in the first place, And I suppose some people might feel that way about why did my that's infuriating. Sorry, my Spotify got all fucking like rearranged for some reason. It was like listed the wrong way. Anyway, like I was saying, like I guess for some people they could feel the same thing about Marilyn Manson's deviations into different styles, but I have always felt in this case that they have worked. Whereas, like in the case of Kiss, like I don't feel like it really worked at all. It just lost all of my interest in listening to their music. So, getting through that discography was a kind of a challenging experience. This was a good one all the way through, which I knew it was gonna be because I mean, I'm so familiar with most of these albums, like front to back, that there wasn't really anything new here for most of them. Where I listened to them and it was just like, yep, it's exactly what I thought I was gonna think. Like I already knew fully in advance how I was gonna feel about pretty much each album, except for this last one. Because, like I said, I knew full well that I didn't really give it a fair chance. And also, I don't think I mentioned it in the corresponding video, but Pale Emperor, I actually picked up an extra song that I threw in my Spotify liked, which I was surprised because when I listened to it, I was like, this totally sounds like something I would like. I don't know why it wasn't already in there. So, there was a song. There was a song in all of these albums that I was sleeping on without realizing it. So again, it's time consuming to listen to an entire discography, but you know what? It can pay off if you like any song from an artist. There's always the chance that you will like at least one more. I think exploring music is a good use of your time, because when you find a really great song, it's magical. It's like, yes, I have a wonderful thing that I can enjoy, like a lot, and I found it, because like shit, there's all kinds of songs where it's like, I could easily never have heard certain songs. I know we're getting off topic of the album itself, but it is relevant to me having listened to the album, and this discography in general, and to the series itself that I'm in the midst of making. But okay, a good example of a song that I could easily have gone the rest of my life without ever hearing, but I love it, is Ein Sturzen Nubaten. Is a strange band with some odd music, to be certain, at least from what I've heard. But their cover of Sand, which was Nancy Sinatra and someone else, I'm sorry, I don't remember the male performer's name, is one of my favorite songs currently. I love that fucking cover. It's so good. And their original song, Jugung für mein Ego, that's legitimately one of my favorite songs. Like, period. I've listened to that so many fucking times because there's one part where he just goes bananas. I'll just leave it at that. But God, his like frantic, crazy energy is amazing. And the only reason I've heard that song is because I decided, to listen to the album that's from. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't know that song because I've never heard it anywhere else in my life. I've never heard anyone talk about it in particular. And the only reason I know who this band is, Ein Sturzen Nubaten, is because I believe it was Al Jorgensen was talking about like good industrial bands that he found to be like influential. And they popped up, and I checked out each band, like some music from each of the bands that he listed, to see like where he was coming from, and there was some cool stuff in there for sure. But anyway, sorry, I know we got off on a rant there at the end, but yeah. So as far as the album itself, We Are Chaos, I really like this one. I'm glad that I gave it its fair listen, and hopefully this encourages people, not necessarily to listen to Marilyn Manson. That's not the point of this. I'm not saying like that it has to be what I want you to listen to or anything, but to approach music with this kind of goal, I suppose, of like, sometimes you could suffer through an album and still find something good in it. That has happened before, where I've listened to an album and I don't like basically anything else off of it, but there's that one song. You know, uh, a quick example before we go, and this might be a weird note to end on. I don't like the Insane Clown Posse. I don't like their image. I don't like a lot of their lyrics. I don't like, in some cases, the music itself. There is like one ICP song that I think is pretty good. Like, for what it is, and I feel like if they kind of stuck to that type of song, or like that kind of thing, that I might not dislike them, in particular. The song is Halls of Illusions. But, there's an example where it's like, even a band that I basically otherwise, like, completely dislike, they still have a song that I am fine with listening to. So, just saying, if there's anything to be learned from me doing this series, is that going through a discography, maybe not the worst idea sometimes. Sometimes it might be like, okay, maybe it's unreasonable, because I've not listened to all of ICP's music. I just happen to know that song from somewhere else. But like, be open to exploring artists beyond, like, oh, like I like one song from so and so. Like, dig a little deeper sometimes. You might be surprised. So anyway, I've rambled for too long, and certainly a bit off topic from the album itself that we're here to talk about. But I guess that's it. So thank you for watching. This concludes our Marilyn Manson chapter in my musical history. So the next video, we will be talking about a new artist who is one of my consistent favorites, and has been since they became like important to my life. So I'm excited to talk about them, and I will see you guys in the next video where we will begin that section. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.